So we just received some news that basically the Department of Justice unit that investigates crypto fraud has been shut down. And there has been a release of a memo. So this memo, which has been sent from the DOJ, the Deputy of Attorney General, he essentially outlined that the Department of Justice is not a digital assets regulator. However, the prior administration used the Justice Department to pursue a reckless strategy of regulation by prosecution, and so forth. It states that the Justice Department will no longer pursue litigation or enforcement actions that have the effect of superimposing regulatory frameworks on digital assets, while President Trump's actual regulators do this work outside the punitive criminal justice framework. Rather, consistent with President Trump's directives and the Justice Department's priorities, the department's investigations and prosecutions involving digital assets shall focus on prosecuted individuals who victimize digital asset investors, or those who use digital assets in furtherance of criminal offenses such as terrorism, narcotics, human trafficking, so on and so forth. So all of the investigations, i.e. such as with Tornado Cash, so all of the developers that basically had developed things that was then used by investors, by individuals, whether they're criminals or not, those are basically now put to bed. Those investigations will not continue. The whole department has been shut down. So it's essentially a total free-for-all. It'll be interesting to see how the market really digests this information. It'll also be interesting to see what then happens with developers, right? Those that will be interested, who have been interested in building developing mixers of some sort, or multi-chain ways that you can be able to conceal transactions. So it will be interesting to see how things progress. We have definitely seen a lot of the cases that have been closed, like such as the Richard Hart case of recent. We've seen such as the BitMEX guys who basically have been pardoned. We've seen the Silk Road. He's also been pardoned. So a lot has occurred. Clearly, the crypto space has been a huge facilitator, a huge donor for Trump's administration. So now he's essentially given back. If we take a look at the Department of Justice, here it basically mentioned here that the National Cryptocurrency Enforcement Team shall be disbanded effectively immediately, and by the Deputy Attorney General Todd Blanche. Okay, now if you take a look at Todd Blanche, he essentially was Trump's main lawyer during the case prior to him being elected, and he basically, so if we take a look to find out more information, he received, so it said Trump basically owes lawyers a 7-figure sum as ex-president. So essentially the prosecutor that essentially worked on behalf of Donald Trump, so that firm was actually Todd Blanche's actual firm. So now Todd Blanche has now received the accolades as United States Deputy Attorney General, is the second highest ranking official in the United States, right? So what a phenomenal privilege to have, first and foremost, to act on the behalf of Trump, and then once Trump gets elected, to be in a position where you become the Deputy Attorney General, right? So that's phenomenal. It also shows that Trump owes, so Mr. Blanche has represented Mr. Trump, who stands trial for falsifying business documents, over alleged hush money payments to the adult star. And then the felonies, the ex-president owed $837,000 to the firm with a majority And this firm is Mr. Blanche's firm, his attorney, right? Blanche Law, and has since paid $854,000 according to Daily Beast. Okay, so the practice is a criminal law group based out of New York, and essentially set up by his American lawyer and former prosecutor who now serves as the 40th United States Deputy Attorney. So it's everything's all convoluted, right? All interconnected, all convoluted. You know, let's not forget that Donald Trump essentially launched the Trump coin prior to him being his first day in office, right? Like amassed an absolute fortune from that. So it's just given a green light for anything to happen in the space. So on one hand, there's, as a developer, someone that's providing value in the ecosystem. We don't have these harsh regulations anymore, which is amazing. But on the other hand, it's treading a fine line, because you're getting more criminals potentially will be attracted to get involved, will be attracted to know that, okay, if we do something in terms of providing something that's where we're going to get ill-gotten gains, right, then there's a highly unlikelihood that we're going to face some form of prosecution. So it's a dangerous situation that's taken place. We'll see how things unravel. It says here, Trump's donors have paid his hush money trial attorneys more than $6 million. So clearly the money that was paid did not come from Trump. It came from his donors, the hush money. So the PAC, so the Federal Election Commission filings through April show his PAC Save America has been paying millions to the two law firms representing him and his trial over hush money payments. Then the lawyers here, as it stated, have been paid approximately $4.9 million by Save America between this period. Okay. So it will be interesting to see. What will be nice to see is Attorney General. I want to know what the salary of the United States. So as of 2021, so it's quite outdated. This data, okay, so here's States Attorney, let's see here. Deputy, okay. So let's see what the deputy receives. Deputy. So he's receiving a salary of, as of April 2025, the monthly salary of the Deputy Attorney General is $13,000, right? So annual salary of $161,000. It'd be interesting to see what's happened now with, because clearly him being in this role, what's his position within the law firm, right? Obviously, as he's the owner, I guess he definitely hasn't given away his equity to the practice, because him being in a position as now the deputy, that's going to have massive interests, right? And let's say a forward-on effect in terms of the visibility of what he's doing in terms of his practice. So that's only going to grow by magnitudes, right? So yeah, this is a situation. This is what's happening in crypto. So just for those that are trying to get involved, those that are building things, those that are developing, investors, something you can basically print out and then you can frame it, because we're going through some interesting times within crypto and also in the financial markets. Anyway, if you like some information, please like, subscribe, come back to another one. Bye-bye.